Hello.
How's
We're
it
live.
going?
We're live, buddy.
We're
We are
live.
live. So, anyways, like I was about to tell you, yeah. Did you look up any of like the trivia stuff for this movie?
Uh, no, I
It's
didn't.
pretty funny. Some of the stuff is pretty funny.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's Steven Seagal, so obviously some of it be funny. But the first thing that shows on IMDb, he says, according to William Forsythe, Steven Seagal told him, "You really need to work on your Brooklyn accent." And then and William Forsythe said, "Trust me, you do."
Nice. No, yeah, I can believe it, man. Forsyth. I mean, yeah, from stuff I've seen of him, he's not somebody I'd want to mess with, but he's super
Oh,
cool. Like I missed out on getting to meet him last year, and I'm super bummed about that.
oh, really?
Yeah.
What's up, Big
As a
Tony?
Hey, Anthony.
Big Tony's here. Russ is here. Hey, what's going on, Russ? Dave's here.
Hey, Dave. Yeah, yeah. When I met him, or when I was going to meet him, it was either him or Ken Foray. So I had to meet Ken Foray because of Dawn of the Dead.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, Foresight. Yeah, like I wouldn't want to mess with him. I mean, come on, man, Stone Cold. I mean,
Yeah, for sure, man. He plays a good hothead, anyways. Especially in this movie, as Richie is like
hmm
that. This movie is like one of my favorites because I mean, he plays like a good. It's like a mobster kind of movie almost. He's almost like an Italian mobster dude,
hmm
And it starts off right away with like without any explanation. Like he's super mad and he's just ready to kill people and die today. I find that funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just like you said. He plays a really good hothead. I mean, yeah, it's
Uh,
in everything. It's like I said. I just mentioned Stone Cold right now. I mean, even little roles like did you ever see Career Opportunities?
I think so.
That's the Target one with Jennifer Connelly and I can't remember the guy's name, but it's like I'm pretty sure you've seen it where like the Jennifer Connelly's riding that like mechanical horse or
Oh
whatever.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, so he's in that, and he's the night manager or whatever,
Hmm.
and like I mean he's totally nuts in that too for just a small role. It's like man,
Yeah. So I got this. Like I said before, I was just telling Larry, this is a sealed 1998 release. What is a Warner Brother Hits release of? And I'm going to open it right now so we can play it. And so there's an interesting story behind this because when I so here's the story. The long story short. Last year or something, Gareth invited me to watch Fletch, and I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I didn't have it, so I went on Marketplace and I was lucky enough I found this dude, and he had and Fletch Lives, and I bought it, and everything was good. So we fast forward to now. I ask you if you want to watch this movie, and I have so many movies, and sometimes I don't remember what I got and what I don't got. And then just the other day, I'm like, I better go check and make sure I have Out for Justice. And when I went and looked, I don't know if I do have it someplace. It's in storage, and I just can't find it or whatever. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Then I'm like, oh my
uh,
god, I don't have the movie. So I go on Marketplace, man, on Facebook, and so I search it, and right away, only one posting comes up, and it's newly listed, and it's this sealed copy of Out for Justice, and I think On Deadly Ground I got, and it's from the same guy.
hmm. And he
Like a
sold it
year
for you.
later, the same guy saved my ass, and it's the only
Oh
listing.
wow,
It's the only listing of this on there. Like
huh?
in the whole, in even some towns around me, there was none. This was the only one, and he had just listed it. It's just funny that
Brand
the
new
same
seal.
guy
Yeah,
listed the movie I need like over a year later again.
I think he's got you bugged or something.
Yeah, man, it's really weird. So, but anyways, he saved my ass. So here's the movie. So
Nice.
I'm gonna pop it in there before we get going. Look, it still has like the
Oh,
insert
nice.
inside.
Now I was gonna ask, what was your first time? Like, do you remember your first time watching this film?
Oh man, first time watching it. You know something? I've watched these movies so many times. Like I couldn't even tell you which Seagal movie I've seen first. It blends so much together. I'm assuming I'd seen his earlier ones first, but I mean, like at that time when I was young, it could have been who knows which one I saw first, but it's probably Marked for Death, I think.
I want
But
to say, I think that's probably, the first one I saw was Marked for Death.
I could be wrong though. It's hard for me to tell because, like I said, they all kind of. I remember just being, especially at that time, I was like blown away by these movies, man. I love especially his set of good ones at the beginning there.
Yeah,
Like this one and Marked for Death and Above the Law. Oh, shit.
yeah, like these ones. Although his earlier stuff, I remember from my cousin's house.
Hmm.
So say like how you said they kind of blended together because you watched them so many times. For me, it was more of like I would show up and they'd be watching the movie already because they
Hmm.
used to rent movies all the time. And I've said this on many streams, like Dave, a lot of the old horror movies, like Freddy and Jason movies, I would watch there as well. Like they were just always those Cheech and Chong, like all those movies, they would always just be like on rotation, like renting them and stuff. So a lot of
Right,
the stuff I saw was because of them. More of the stuff that I saw on my own was more like RoboCop, Predator, those sort of things. But yeah, it was just interesting. Like I got all this film, stuff from my cousin's house, which was
right.
that was kind of interesting.
I got a little bit of that going on in my history because I have like some couple older cousins and a couple older uncles and aunts that are young, like just a few years older than me.
Hmm.
So a lot of times there's movies that I got from them, walking and seeing them watching movies that I wouldn't have thought of myself to watch. But my mother and I, especially like growing up, and my brother, we lived in the video store, man, and especially during the summertime, like we rented like 5 movies a night, like every night for like months. So I used to just clean out the video store and watch every goddamn thing they had in there.
Nice.
So I see that's why for me, all movies are so jumbled up in my head, man. Like I've seen so many movies, like names and faces and stuff like that. It's like I gotta look at it and research it to remember. It's like I got so many things going on up in there.
Yeah, and for me, there was a lot of stuff that would forget, and then somebody would mention a scene, and then I'll remember it. Like I won't remember the name of the film because it wasn't one that I would see like on heavy rotation or anything. But like there was like I think one of those was like what's that movie? It was a movie with Charlie Sheen, and he the only thing I ever remember is like he had like a green trench coat and a shotgun, and like he looked like a burnout and stuff. And like I think when he was gonna go blow up something, I don't know. It was like I always remember that because I remember how he looked and just the whole like, man, this looks pretty menacing and stuff, but could never find it. I don't know. I tell people about like that look, they look at me like I'm crazy or something.
Really,
They're like they don't remember that.
for some reason, it kind of sounded familiar, but as I'm starting to think of it, I'm like I can't place that either. Like, so do you have the movie ready to roll or?
Yeah, yeah, I have it up. I have it queued up already.
All right, I guess we'll hit play there.
Right.
Let me know when the movie starts because I'm like right at the beginning.
9 seconds now. At the Warner Brothers logo.
Okay, cool. I'm just after that. It starts off this movie too, like right away with action. Like
Hmm.
this. What part you at?
Where they're like they're showing a Arnold something Steven Seagal production, a John Flynn film. Man, if I could talk.
Okay, the car's pulling up.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So there's the trivia, like the trivia on here was pretty funny. Of course, it's Steven Seagal, like I said. So He here's an interesting factoid. He declared that in an interview that the movie's bar brawl scene in this movie is one of his favorite fight scenes that he's done. I guess.
Oh, because
So then,
he beats the crap out of everybody.
yeah, because it makes him look good, maybe.
Yeah.
And this is the only Steven Seagal movie between 1988 and 1998 to not feature a single explosion.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's
Huh.
check the chat there. I got Barfly on VHS. I just put that on the shelf down there today, as a matter of fact. It's funny you say that. Anybody seen Richie? What's up, Len Dog?
Hey, Len.
Len Dog's in the Hizu. Justice says my kind of movie. Yeah, it's a good one, man. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a classic for sure.
So they're sitting there like in a stakeout, and he's going to blow the whole stakeout. Like the guy's like, "We got millions of dollars on this stakeout. We're going to blow this whole stakeout so that he can run over and beat up this pimp." The pimp makes me laugh too. He's calling the chick over, and she's yelling back to him. He goes, "Do I look like I work long distance? Come over here."
I know the one girl that was slapping around. She's like in summer school, right?
Yeah. I was just about to say that. She helps her get her license.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he's dressed too. He's got running shoes on, and a purple not raincoat, but like with the sleeves pulled up.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
That looked like it hurt. He bends him backwards and puts his head through the window. But when you hear stories of him like hurting people and throwing people around and stuff like that, when you
Yeah.
watch when you watch the movie, it looks like you can believe it because it looks like he's really hurting the people and throwing them around a little too much.
I know, right? It's just like you can almost believe that he's that nuts in person.
Yeah, they're like, people ask him, "Hey, Steven, how do you make your scenes look so real?" It's because they're real.
I did that. I really did that. Yeah, but I've always liked William Forsythe.
Yeah, man.
I mean, even when he was in Dick Tracy, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I've always liked him as a.
He's even pretty funny too. Like he got a little bit of comedy going on to him, and he was in the movie Blue Streak.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or even in what's that other one? The one that he Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, yeah. He keeps showing him his rash or something, or he's showing him something.
He's like, you see that red dot there? What do you think that is? I don't know. Get it away from me.
Yeah, there's a couple. What else there? What did I see on here that was pretty interesting? Yeah, the movie was like originally 30 minutes longer, but Seagal was like thinking Forsythe was kind of like trying to upstage him, so they cut a lot of the character development out of the movie for that reason.
I don't know if he's trying to upstage him. I think he's just that much of a good actor.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. It's not hard to upstage Steven Seagal, man. I mean,
that too.
when you're a good actor, it's gonna come out in the wash that way because
Mm-hmm.
that's the way it is. Well, you blast a guy in the middle of the daylight.
Ooh.
That's how sick he is.
Oh, one last one for good measure too.
Yeah. So he's pissed off with Bobby because that he was with some chick, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's the picture he throws on him, right?
Hmm. What I
Yeah.
find what I find interesting is like being a badass. You used to drive a Trans Am everywhere.
And he's sitting there with his son. His son's asking him to go pitch with him. He's got tight black jeans on and a sleeveless sweater vest, V-neck sweater vest that's made to wear over a shirt, and he's got nothing underneath it. Richie pulled over and he's smoking crack.
Oh man, here we go.
Yeah, but you know what to say in his defense. Why did the lady have to say, "Can you move the goddamn car"? Why can't she say, "Can you move, please"? I mean, she didn't deserve to get shot in the head, but she could have been a little more polite.
Well, I mean, you got to think too. It's like he's already all hyped up on who knows how many puffs he's already taken of that crack.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I just realized something too. We were talking about Blue Streak. That dude, one of his henchmen that's with him, the one wearing the Brooklyn shirt, the guy with the tattoos, he's in that movie too. He's in.
Oh,
He's
the guy with the white shirt, right?
yeah. He has in that movie. He's like loaded with tattoos now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the one that's arrested in Blue Streak, and he tries to get loose from what's his name, Luke Wilson.
I find Seagal's like apartment interesting because
Yeah.
it's like it looks very like almost trashy, like it's like messed up, but then he's got like certain things like hit that black lamp and then that black frame, like it feels out of place. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like they threw the apartment together, like with mismatched stuff and everything.
And then Seagal was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna put this up." So it's like anything in black here in this apartment is something that he probably brought from home. You know,
You got a timestamp for Russell?
I'm at 8:25.
8:25, Russ. Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time. Steven Seagal from the movie Ticker. Okay, that is a long time.
I also find it funny. He's just like shows up with his beret.
Yeah, that's another thing too. He's got he's got that sweater vest on with nothing underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
He's growing a little bit of a belly. He got his tight jeans on and a beret out of us all of a sudden, like he's in competition with Ferris or something.
And then I guess it makes sense that this guy shows up, the guy from Law and Order and
Yeah. Boom, boom,
Universal.
boom. It's funny, like in the other movie, his name is Nico, right? This movie's name is Gino. The other movie's name is Nico. And they try to make it like super mobby, like super Italian mobster. This movie, even his ex-wife, like he's going to talk to his ex-wife, and she's going to say to him, go. And she sounds like the Godfather a little bit. Her voice is like super rusty, and she's like, go, dude, go take care of this, and come back when you're done, and we finish our business. She's talking about their divorce and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says Seagal played several Italian American characters. He said he's often mistaken for Italian American, but his ancestry is Dutch, English, German, Russian, and Jewish.
Wow.
Yeah. The
He was,
guy, a Law and Order guy, is in a Pacino film. He's also the father in
yeah, Dirty
Dirty
Dancing.
Dancing.
As soon as he said the father, I was like, nobody puts baby in the corner.
And also, it says here during the filming of the showdown between Gino and Richie, Seagal broke William Forsythe's front tooth when he shoved his face into the brick wall. Wow,
Jeez.
nice, eh? Len Dog says he wishes that Seagal wasn't such a douche. It would have been great in the Expendables. I
I
think
think
you know
he.
what. I would have loved to see them in Expendables. I think it would have been great as a villain, like what they did with Expendables 2 is my favorite because they made a
Same.
Van Damme a villain. I love that,
Same.
man.
Yeah, that's still my favorite one. Like,
Yeah,
and Dem just like, oh man, he chews up every scene.
I
I
love
like
it.
Simple.
My favorite line of his in that movie is when they first come across each other.
Hmm.
You know, and Van Damme's crew comes across Stallone's crew, and they got them with gunpoint, and they're telling them what to do and all that stuff, and then so they're like kind of resisting, and then Van Damme walks over to Stallone, and he looks at him, he says, "Don't challenge me."
Yeah, like I love that whole like intro part where he's
You know,
like,
this French accent, and he's like super direct. He's like, "Don't challenge me."
the goat, it's the pet
Yeah,
of Satan.
I love him as a villain, man.
Yeah,
I
he's
love Van
great.
Damme, man. Yeah, exactly. Van Damme, Seagal and Machete. He played a Latino dude in a Machete.
Hmm.
He was good as a villain.
The thing that always like tripped me out about Van Damme movies, it's like I feel like he never really gets hit, but he gets hit once and he's like gushing blood, you know? It's like he just like instantly he's like bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, well,
But
like I mean, they give him like a small. He gets a small little beating. It always happens that way. You know, he does some in his fights. He does some kind of fancy stuff. Then they tag him a couple times. Then he's hurt. And
mhm.
then he comes back and kicks the shit out of
The other joke me and my buddies used to make is like it's like, well, if Seagal's in a film, he's never gonna die, right?
him.
So it's like you kind of know, except executive decision, he dies in like the first like what 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, that's why that's a good movie.
See, on that one, I know what's his name. Like, Leguizamo hated him.
Now he goes. This part two is like he's like a obviously a law enforcement dude going to meet with the mob boss because he knows them from the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And you think that like he doesn't through the dialogue he doesn't want to act like he's like in cahoots with them or like they're buddies or nothing. But the first thing he does when he sits down is start speaking Italian. You know, instead of like speaking English, the
Mhm.
guy speaking English to him.
Yeah.
He starts speaking Italian right away like a mobster to make it like push it over the top of like how Italian he is, you know?
Maybe he's trying to do it out of respect or something. Who knows?
I don't I yeah, I suppose, but I just found it funny like how he goes right away to like because the guy's speaking English to him first, and he goes right away to Italian. And he's super impazzi. He's crazy. He's always on the drugs. It's funny. He's always on the drugs, and you know what? They act like he's on the drugs. We got to put him down. It's like they don't act like maybe he can stop taking the drugs and still be a good dude.
I never know, man.
You know, they're
We
like,
have
no, he's on the
those
drugs now.
bunkers.
He's gone too far now. He's on the drugs. Let's kill him.
Well, this is back when, like, it's like you get a parking ticket. Oh, that's it. We have to kill him. Where it's like, no, nobody can ever come back from that. This is also like still during the time where it's like cops can just go and shoot up everywhere and like ask questions later.
Yeah. Now the mobster's like this part's a bit confusing because the mobster's asking him, if you guys catch him, he's going to do a couple years in jail. So we need to catch him so he can be dealt with properly. And then Gino tells him, well, if I catch him, you know what's going to happen to him. Yeah, you're going to kill him just like they're going to kill him. So what's the problem? Just let him catch him then. Like, why are you telling him not to catch him so you can? Either way, he's going to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Either
Well,
way.
you think the cops are going to catch him, and Richie's going to say, okay, well, you caught me. Let's go. Russell's watching it on Look Movie.
Nice. That's where that's actually where I'm checking it out too.
It's got a lot of good action in this movie. The fight scenes are pretty cool, and I find it very comical, man. Like there's a lot of funny scenes in it. You know, like the thing, especially when he walks in to that bar upstairs and starts that big fight there. The dialogue, the things he says before the fight breaks out, is hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
If you're on the drugs, they automatically have to put you down. Yeah, it's like he's on the drugs. He's too far. We got to put him down. That's it. It's over. Big fan of true crime mob stuff. I used to be obviously, like, I grew up in that time where everybody loved all the mob movies and that. But man, I got so tired of mobster stories.
Hmm.
Like the Irishman, to kill the Irishman or whatever. Was the last. That was the last of it for me. I watched that movie and I was like, you know what? That is the all that I can take of mobster movies. Uh-oh.
What do you, what do you think
Russell's
is
on the
the?
drugs. Russell's on the drugs. Russell, don't tell nobody. Not to put you down, man.
Well, it's not the late '80s, early '90s, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, and so the guy throws a puppy in a garbage bag out
Yeah,
on the street, which is a terrible. I used to hate that scene. Well, I still do, but that's how you set up. That's how you put some feeling in a movie. You know what I mean?
hmm,
You want to get some feelings from the crowd. Do something like that.
right. Have Seagal like Seagal. He was probably like, you know what this movie needs? I need to save a puppy.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I gotta beat up a guy who wanted to hurt a puppy. Now he's
Because if you,
cruising around New York listening to Beastie Boys. No sleep till Brooklyn. He's going to buy a 6-pack of seltzer water. They said that he doesn't know any Italian. He's only speaking the Italian lines he knows in this movie, but he doesn't know any Italian at all.
hmm,
Apparently, he offered the producers of this movie $1 million to take that dog home with him, and they turned him down. Yeah,
huh?
Garagio. He just named the dog Garagio. Garagio is for courage. It's Italian for courage. Yeah, it's Italian for courage or bravery.
Hmm. I guess you like $1 million for the. He couldn't just buy another dog, like, or go to the shelter and get another one. Like
I
he
guess
had to have that dog.
he got connected with the dog maybe, but he says he offered producers $1 million to take the dog who played Coraggio home. He was turned down for concerns for the dog's safety. That's what it says.
You'd be like training with the dog.
Who knows, man? Yeah, it says here he's not fluent in Italian, but he's fluent in Japanese.
Makes sense.
Well, Richie's looking for some henchmen. He just pulls up to a parking lot. Anybody got the balls? Who's got the balls here? You got the balls?
Oh man, here we go.
Oh,
I was gonna say the guy that he threw the money to. I believe that guy comes out in RoboCop 2.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he comes out at the beginning when they go to that gun store and they start stealing all the guns.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he's
Oh
I think
yeah,
he's
yeah.
one
I think you're right.
I think he's one of the guys that one of the henchmen at the beginning. He has like a blue jacket or something. Because I saw I know that face and that hair, man. I was just like, that guy looks so familiar.
Yeah, I love RoboCop too, man.
Oh yeah. Like I don't understand the hate for it. Part three,
Yeah,
I
me
understand
neither.
the hate for it.
I think it's
Part
great, man. I love how savage everybody is in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody's supposed to be like that dystopian kind of feel, like savage, and they are, man. So funny that when the chicks beat up that guy on the street for the cash, and it's hilarious, man.
Well, it's just the way it escalates, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
the one guy robs the old lady. Well, first it starts off with like her cart of cans gets run over, and then like the guy steals her purse, and it just like escalates from there, you know. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's great.
Can you imagine being this Richie's friends, man? He's like threatening every one of them that like, he's going to kill everybody.
Well, at that point, you can't really not be his friend, right? Because he'd probably kill you if you
Oh
stop being
yeah,
his friend.
You're stuck in that ride. If you're one of those guys on the side, you're stuck in that ride, and you just got to play it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
The guy with all the tats was in King of New York. Oh, okay. Huge ass. Yeah, that's right. And
Yep.
she was kind of rude to him. She, like I said, she's like, "Can you move the goddamn car?" Instead of just asking him to move the car, please.
Yeah. She
But
could have
you
just
see a
said like,
car full of,
"Hey."
you see a car full of six guys, and you're a lady by yourself, and one of them's puffing a crack pipe. You should probably not curse at the guy. I'm just saying. You got to know where you're doing. You got to know your surroundings and shit. You know. I mean, I wouldn't look at me. I wouldn't even do that. If I saw six guys in a car smoking crack, I would probably drive around them.
Yeah, it'd probably be like, I better wait another like 5 minutes or so.
Exactly.
You know, just
Probably better if I just like maybe go another way. So now they're in that like in this deli, and they're waiting for Gino to walk in. And this is funny. This part's pretty good too. This scene.
oh man, here we go. Oh,
Oh, knife into the leg, slams the guy into the freezer and then the floor. Like he slams the guy's face into the floor. Like
oh,
oh, there's a lot of chopping in this movie.
come get some.
That's like the third chopping. Oh, there's been four chops.
You gonna beat him with the sausage now?
Richie's a bad guy. I don't like him. My friends don't like him. Your friends don't like him. And he's telling them, "Don't be a bad guy.
Be a nice guy.
Be a nice guy." The guy's still screaming as he walks out. It's like, how invested are these guys? They're all wearing like butcher coats and stuff like that. It's like, you guys butchers or are you henchmen?
Well, again, it goes back to the whole thing where, like, like, do you really want to not listen to Richie?
Well, no, but I mean, at the same time,
I mean, you're
once,
gonna get screwed either way.
once that fight breaks out and you see him chop, he gets like chops like three guys, and you're like, yeah, keep that mouse quiet.
So what would be interesting is like this little like market or whatever. Like, it's interesting because like I don't know of any markets like that, like where I've lived, and I've lived in like small towns and stuff like that. I've never seen a market like this. I
Hmm.
just imagine it's like, but I have been to LA and I've seen markets like this in LA. So I mean, that's why I was like, when I first saw that and seeing this scene, it kind of like, man, it's crazy to think that it's a movie, but it's still pretty much true to life.
Yeah,
In some areas, I mean, you need those like corner stores. I mean, that's corner store for a reason, right?
right. And I wondered to myself, like, what's the inside of that car look like? Because that dog has been in the car all day.
Well, I
And
mean, I'm
maybe,
sure I'm sure he doesn't want to piss off Steven Seagal, so he's probably
maybe,
like
yeah, but
holding it.
maybe he didn't piss or shit in the car because, like, he only just fed him now.
Well, that too. Hence, the producers were like, "Yeah, we fear for the dog's safety if we let
Exactly.
Seagal take him home."
This is where the mobster tells him that, you know how many of your guys that make my guys look like altar boys? Yeah, the Italian. He sounds okay with the Italian accent. Like he sounds okay,
Hmm.
but I can't stand the way he talks when he's doing it.
Yeah, his mannerisms, like he's
Yeah, it's too much. It's like
like
over
he,
the top.
yeah,
Like he still does that kind of thing when he talks because it's part of his attitude. Like,
hmm
but when he's doing the Italian accent, he emphasizes it's emphasized. It's like one of the funniest lines when he walks in a bar and he's like, "You killed somebody upstairs, right? Nobody upstairs."
yeah.
Anything else good in here that I read? Uh, oh yeah. So it says here when Gino goes after Richie at the hooker's house while having the party, sitting on the sofa is a young Kane Hodder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you just look for the mullet and the hooker that falls in his lap.
Well, I know he came out like in. You remember that movie? Well, I mean, you must remember the movie, The Best of the Best, the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
He's in that too. Kane Hodder is in the pool scene, the pool hall scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he's one of the guys. Like he's with the girl, and then like they end up getting into a fight. It's
Oh,
like it's Kane Hodder's one of those guys.
sweet. Hello, Lay. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Leigh, how's it going?
We're watching Out for Justice.
Oh wow, I totally forgot this guy was in this movie. It's the guy from Sopranos,
Yeah.
the old guy.
Yeah, he plays Richie's father.
Like
That must be a weird situation. Then he's going to Richie's parents' house, and they're going to beg him not to kill their son. That must be pretty messed up, man. He's like, "Oh, I love you guys." You know, the woman just gave him a kiss on both sides of his cheek and everything, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, but I got to kill him." You know,
yeah.
he's on the drugs. Yeah, he says he killed Bobby right in front of his wife and kids, and the father says, "What did Bobby do to him?" William Forsythe said the role of Richie is his favorite of his performances.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, he's on the drugs now. He's lost his mind.
So it's too late. Can't go back.
No,
I mean, what do you think? I mean, just for grins, do you think like if Richie was like, "Okay, I give up," and he's like, "I want to turn over a new leaf," you really think like Seagal's gonna like, "Okay, I'll just take you in, get rehab, all this stuff." Oh man,
well,
I still feel he would still would have killed him.
yeah, probably, and I mean, he probably deserved it because he already just he shot Bobby, but Bobby was up to no good. Like he finds out anyways a little bit, but I mean, like if he did it in front of like a lot of police officers,
Right.
they'd have to like take him in if he wasn't unarmed and everything, and unless somebody jumped the gun or whatever. But or if he turned himself in, like went to a police station and turned himself in, maybe.
hmm
Hey, Ride to Hell with Kane Hodder and Bill Mosley.
Hmm. I don't think I've seen that one.
Hey, Ride to Hell sounds like a pretty cool title. That much.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? My man mastered 80s
Hey,
Tony
how's it
there.
going?
Thanks for stopping by, buddy. We're watching Out for Justice. We're watching Gino look for Richie. Yeah, this tattooed guy has like nothing on him compared to like
Now,
nowadays. Yeah, he looks like he's like covered up to like his whole head. I think nowadays he's like his head is shaved bald and even his head is tattooed.
who's this girl?
Right?
Oh, is that what's her name? Um,
With a chick?
yeah.
Yeah,
She became like more famous, right?
I remember she's in something else. Like,
Yeah, she became somebody like she actually became a like a higher like a better like not higher, but a more famous actress.
yeah. This part's funny. He's like rubbing her face, and she's like, "Oh, like I turned over a new leaf and stuff, And he's like, "What? You just saying no? You just saying no? Like, what are you, Nancy fucking Ray Bush?" Yeah, she's been in a bunch of things, I think, but I don't know
Oh
her
man.
names, like especially people I don't really care about.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is the part, man. This is the best part right here. Calling them names and shit.
I always I always like that. Mama Luke.
Yeah, tell him anything he wants to know. He's t- he says, "If my brother was here, he wouldn't be talking like that." He goes, "Yeah, but he's not E, and you know why he's not E? Look around you over here." when this part coming up, man, when he goes behind the counter, he says, "Whose hot dog is this?" I always find that funny. Like,
I wonder how much of this is like Seagal's like
improv,
yeah.
probably all of it. Anybody seen Richie? Yeah, he's yelling out questions like, "Do anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?" Like they're going to tell him right there. Yeah,
Boom.
he kicks the chair out from underneath the guy, hits the ground. You jump around a little bit. Is that it?
Cool breeze.
His the shoulder pads in that jacket are terrible, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. He's a pretty decent sized guy. He doesn't need the shoulder pads in the jacket.
Oh, here we go.
He pushes that dude right here.
Not the chips.
Here, whose hot dog is this? He
You got all
grabs
this
the hot dog. He's
boxing.
like, "Whose hot dog is this?" We got some gloves over here. Oh, you have to give him credit though, man. He knows how to set up the scenes and
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing too is a lot of the like the hits and everything. I mean, they feel like. I mean, great sound design too. I mean, because the
yeah.
sounds of the hits and everything and all that stuff is just man.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it looks like it when people tell you, "Oh, he really hits the stuntmen and stuff and like that," and you're like, "Yeah, it looks like it because it really does look like it." Who's your Mount Rushmore of '80s, '90s action movie stars?
Oh man. I mean, without question, Arnie's number one. You know, Stallone, Van Damme. Man. Well, I mean,
I'm with you.
how
I'm with you 100% so far. The fourth one is now the tricky one.
yep.
Who are you putting in the fourth spot?
Man, that's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard because it's like, I mean, you got Seagal, you got Chuck Norris. You know, I
you
mean,
got
if you watch like American Ninja films, Michael Dudikoff. I mean,
You
there's a
got Bruce Willis.
yeah, Bruce
You
Willis.
got Dolph Lundgren.
You know,
You know what I mean?
you knock my teeth out.
Yeah,
I
and
just like that
you
sound when
still
he
want
hits
to
him.
fight. Like, you know, someone smash you in the face with a pool ball, man. You're not gonna feel that great.
I'm not getting back up.
No.
What about you?
Hello, Stacy. Stacy's here. Hello, thanks. I love this movie. You seen Richie?
Where's Richie?
Where's Richie? Yeah, the butcher scene's pretty good. We just missed that. Seagal and Van Damme, in her opinion. Thank you. Thank you.
I look at it like this though. Like I feel like Van Damme has had better more better or more better films, I guess.
Hmm.
In my opinion, that's just my opinion. Like if you look at a lot of the majority of his films and Seagal's, at least for me, I like more of Van Damme's films.
Right. Like we were talking about this before, like the Van Damme versus Seagal thing, and even though they're both martial artists, I think I like Van Damme's approach a little bit better because he approached it more of a martial arts side. Even though, obviously he's doing martial arts, but he's a police officer most of the time in his movie or something like that who happens to know martial arts.
Yeah.
Van Damme plays actual martial artists, kickboxers, and all these things, kumite fighters, all that stuff like that. And I kind of like that a little bit better. So, and plus, I think he has his repertoire are better movies. I think.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like Van Damme, like out of all the movies that I've seen between both of them, I feel like Van Damme has the majority of better films. But again, that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It takes different folks, different strokes, different
Hey,
folks. Good
Professor.
evening, greetings and salutations, Professor.
Plus, there's one thing I would have to say in the argument between the two. Van Damme was almost a predator.
That's true.
So technically, Van Damme almost fought Arnie.
Where would you rank Richie as a villain? I think
Oh
he's a
man.
great villain. Screwface is good, yeah. Yeah, they're all good. Those are all good villains. Yeah, I rank him up pretty good, man. Richie's a pretty good villain. Pretty funny
Um,
too, in my opinion. Tom Lee Jones and Michael Caine for Seagal villains.
well, you also got Busey too.
Yeah, Busey's always a good villain.
I'd have to go. I think I'd go with Forsyth though.
Yeah, and he does a good job in this.
Yeah, I think he's probably. Yeah, I think he's probably my favorite. Other than whereas Tommy Lee Jones is a way better actor than a lot of these guys. I feel like Forsyth as a villain. I think Forsyth is just he's like the one I'm most afraid of out of all of I wouldn't want to like we were talking about earlier. Like you really want to honk at this guy after he's been like smoking smoking the pipe.
I agree with you, but I think that Tommy Lee Jones gives him a good run for his money because Tommy Lee Jones got a serious look in his face. You know what I mean? Especially a younger Tommy Lee Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that guy was of an impressive size, he'd
Oh
be like
yeah.
he'd be like if he look at you with those eyes, he'd be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like,
No, well that's what I'm saying. Like as acting wise, Tommy Lee Jones for me is like a better actor,
mhm.
but scarier. I'd say Richie's scarier than Tommy Lee Jones. But
Seagal's
Tommy
always
will be up there with him too.
yeah. Seagal's always special ops and the elite of elite. And he's well, yeah, he's got an ego for sure. Oh yeah, yeah.
This guy looks like this guy looks the guy in the pool like he looks like he looks like Reagan, like a fake
He
Reagan.
kind of does, eh? Actually, he does. Now you say it. What mouse? Tell me about the mouse. I pay $800 so I can chase a fucking mouse around the house. Shoot through the floor, you kill a neighbor. Shut up about the fucking mouse.
Oh, so what about what about Mel Gibson on that Rush going back to that Rushmore thing?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I can see somebody wanting to put Mel Gibson in that fourth spot.
That's what I'm saying. It's tough. You
Yeah,
know?
for me, man, I think I don't know. It's kind of hard. I thought about this before. I remember talking to somebody about this, and I think I chose Dolph Lundgren as my fourth one. But I guess sometimes it depends on the day. It's probably interchangeable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Professor says, "Where was Seagal when we needed him to cure the pandemic with flower power?" Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, he could have glimmered it all the way.
Good question, Professor. Yeah, Black Moon Rising is. I love that movie. It's got that. It's got that. It's one of those movies that has that. The '80s had like the '80s had music and movies that had this kind of like super weird kind of grungy feel to it, like
Mm-hmm.
creepy vibe to it, you know. And that's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those movies I find is like that.
Well, that's why as I've gotten older, that's why the first Terminator's become my favorite because it just
Mhm.
has that I don't know. It's just so like dark and gritty. You
Yeah,
know?
I love the Terminator for that now, especially now more than it did before. You put it on and right away it's like spooky kind of a little bit. The music they choose, the way the shots
Mhm.
are, and everything. Yeah, she likes this. She's enjoying this show called Yellow Jackets. Remember she mentioned that last time.
I've had a lot of people talk about that one. Like they always tell me about it, and um, I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, me neither. Stallone, Arnold, Nicolas Cage, and Jackie Chan are my Mount Rushmore. Oh, okay. Nicolas Cage and Jackie Chan.
Interesting.
But he still got 2 out of 4 the same, Stallone and Arnold. I think everybody will have those two in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, like that was a big thing back then. It was just it's almost like who would win, Freddy or Jason? In the '80s, it was like who's the better action star,
Yeah.
Sly or Arnie?
Mm. Uh, I'm not sure. I don't know of the name off by hand though, but I mean, you're asking the wrong dude for that. Like I'm super. I only know the people that I really care about, and I only watch '80s shit. So especially when it comes to new stuff, man, like I'm out of the loop.
He's a Canadian film director. Let's check out his.
Alan Moyle, is that his name?
Oh, he did Pump Up the Volume. He
Oh, okay.
did Empire Records.
Oh shit.
Uh, Love Empire Records. He did this movie called Times Square from 1980.
Hmm.
Never heard of that one. What else? Anything else that's noticeable? That's notable. The Gun in
Lay,
Betty Lou's Handbag. Man, I haven't seen that one in forever.
Lay says Yellow Jackets is really good, Larry.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, everybody keeps telling me that it's good. I just need to check
all
it
up the
out.
volume. He's from Canada, just like Rob. So is Russ.
What? My cat's like going nuts.
Yeah, I had to lock my cat outside the room, otherwise he'd be up here knocking the microphone down and knocking this down and then knocking the straw out of my drink and then going over there and knocking things down over there.
What's interesting is seeing a picture of this guy. Alan Moyle. I've seen his face. I've seen him somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember like where I've seen his face before, so I know I've seen him in something, or maybe I saw him in an interview or something like that.
Hmm.
Hmm. Interesting.
That scene at the end of Out for Justice, is that in a house under construction? Uh,
You guys get the happening Ray Bans.
I don't know. I have to check it out. I'll have to see. Yeah, and he told him, "Get the fuck out of my sight, huh?"
What was with the maitre d stuff that they would wear back then? Like the guy was
Yeah,
wearing
I
like a
know. Eh? And
seat
he's
coat
after.
or
He asks him, "Where's Richie at?" He asks him, like, I don't know nothing from nothing. Pop quiz, hot shots. Who wins the Seagal free for all? Seagal from Out for Justice versus Seagal from Under Siege, or Seagal from On Deadly Ground?
uh okay, so Seagal from Justice and Under Siege beat out Deadly Ground.
I agree with that.
The hard one is just Out for Justice and Under Siege. That's the tough one.
Well, I'm gonna for me, I'm gonna say the Under Siege one would win because I guess he's just like supposed to be a little bit more tactical in that movie, right? So,
Oh well, yeah, he's like a Navy SEAL, right, or something like that.
yeah, I mean, I think he's still supposed to be that kind of dude here too, but I think he just looks like he's a little bit more resourceful in Under Siege,
And he's a cook.
and he's a cook. Yeah, he can make some pies.
Yeah,
He took my leg. Took my leg.
Gina Gershon.
Yeah, and he's like throwing her around and pushing her. Yeah, sit down. Instead of talking to me in that room over there, let's walk through this hallway and you can talk to me in this room over here.
I was gonna ask you, did you ever see Kiss of Death with Nicolas Cage and
Yep,
David Caruso?
yep.
What do you think of that one?
That's a good one. I've seen it at least once, maybe twice. I have it actually down there. Um, yeah, I remember like Cage being like a
Yeah, it was
bit
all like,
jacked up, and he's a bit jacked up and like a freak in that movie, eh?
yeah, like it's totally nuts in that movie.
Yeah, and then there's some kind of like crazy like torture scene or something, and I can remember like they beat the shit out of somebody, or he gets beat up or badly or something. I can't remember exactly, but
Yeah, that one I actually got to see in the theater, and yeah, he beats this dude to death, like
that's it.
in the like in one of the guy's shops or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Punching him till like the blood is like squirting everywhere.
Yeah, man, that's nasty. I remember that movie. Professor says, is that the one where he fights a Jamaican? No, the one where he fights the Jamaicans is marked for death. And the way you can remember that is they mark the door with the Jamaican voodoo stuff, and that's what the title of the movie comes from. Is they mark him for death, so that's how
Hmm.
you can always like remember that one. That's how I do anyway.
Yeah, because for the longest time, like I said, when I saw these movies at my cousin's house, I didn't know how to differentiate them back then. Like so for the longest time when I was a kid, it was like, oh yeah, Out for Justice. Is that the one with the Jamaicans? Like no, like oh okay. And above the law, is that one it? No, that's not it either.
It's kind of hard to remember because they're all kind of like similar, like
Yeah,
cool
and
outfit by Seagal in this one, yeah. Richie
yeah,
is
we
no
missed it. We
Richie
were
is
talking about that earlier.
yeah, exactly. Richie is not a dirty cop. He's a mobster. He's a mob guy.
He's on the
After
pipe.
seeing so many Seagal movies, yes, even the later ones where he's fat, they start to bleed together. Yeah, for sure they do.
Well, yeah, even the movies like his later or his newer movies or whatever, they're all different variations of the same title, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Like even these ones, they're easy to blend together. I can understand somebody forgetting the title. That's why I try to remember which one's which by trying to think of something to keep my memory going. But they could be interchangeable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Still hasn't found Richie yet, though. He's going to find Richie soon, though. We'll have to take a look at the timestamp when he actually does find Richie and see how long it took him to find Richie. He's sitting there playing in some guy's wheelchair.
Yeah, I know. But again, it goes back to like, do you really want to like?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This dude's asking him questions, and look what happens to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Mark for Death is red, and this one's black. Exactly. Can you imagine that? Hey, you're sitting there, you're held up, you're like a criminal, and you're chilling, and you look out the window, and there's a whole squad of cops running towards the door.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's what he gets.
And all these other guys are just like, they were just doing their job, man. And then cops come in, one guy gets run over.
By all accounts, Seagal is a terrible human being, but he made a movie with one of the best cake scenes of all time.
You're right about that.
$25. I think we're past 25 minutes.
Let's see. Yeah, we're at 50. I'm at 53.
Yeah, I'm around. I guess I could check on my VCR, but I don't feel like looking for the button. Would his look work if he had a mohawk and lime green colored outfit, or would that then become his look? I I have a feeling that wouldn't work, but you never know.
I don't see that working for Seagal.
No, I mean it was much easy. It was most likely much easier for him to bring back his hair because if you notice, from his first movie on, his hair got thicker.
Yeah.
Because his first movie, you can see through the top of his hair you can see his head through the top of his hair, and then his hair just got thicker and thicker and thicker, and now it's so thick it almost touches his eyebrows.
Well, even his eyebrows are like super.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did any of you all got to try Seagal's energy drink? No.
No.
We had an energy drink, to be honest with you.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Yeah, and you should see that. You should try to look up the commercials he had for it. Like really, really weird.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. The story about Seagal getting mad at Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon while trying to use their room is funny. He could have worked with them, maybe. Well, maybe.
In Grumpier Old Men.
Yeah,
Can you
Grumpier
imagine
Old Men and Seagal. Grumpier Old Men Part 3, the Seagal's our neighbor. So now he's protecting Richie's father. Richie's father is worried. Because Richie's going crazy. He's on the drugs and he's crazy.
Can't come back. Can't come back from that.
We're driving like 100 miles an hour through a small little parking lot. I forgot to say this part. I just read it before, but what at the beginning when he's going through Bobby Lupo's office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whenever it was, sometime I think we passed it, anyways. Apparently, there's a jacket hanging in there in that off in the scene in the office, and it has his name on it from another movie, which I think is above the law.
Interesting.
Yeah. One I saw had Seagal in a pool and this sexy chick filming the pool with his energy drink,
Yeah.
filling the pool with his, which I would assume you would want to avoid. Yeah, for sure. Having certain parts of your body in a pool with energy drink, and you know what? If you're in a hot tub and you spill that energy drink on it, next thing you know, you're in another time. You know, like you have a hot tub time machine, and boom, you have too many Chernobyls on there, and you don't. Next thing you know, you don't know where you are. So be careful, ladies and gentlemen.
Twitagra.
Yeah, be careful when you're hot tubbing and drinking energy drinks.
I always find it funny how like it's so easy to get like police scanner radios. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and they're telling like all the information on it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, your wife's on there, your wife's doing this, and your wife's doing that, and they're saying everything on that CB.
Man, he still has a dog in the car.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That dog's been sitting there the whole time. Even he says, I almost forgot about you. I remember when I first saw this movie when after I meant to say it when it happened, but we were chatting about something else. But when that guy throws the dog out in the bag, and gets out and he takes the dog out and he picks the dog up and he says, I remember how he says the lines is so terrible, and he's like, please God. And he's like, there's like a pause, and he's like, let me see this guy again someday. I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, that's so bad. Like I'm almost embarrassed. I feel almost embarrassed for him when he's the way he says it.
Yeah. Are you gonna keep him?
Yeah, no, apparently not. Yeah, you see, depends on how brave he is. That's what he says. Yeah, that's what the studio said. No. Gangster Bert and Ernie is funny with Bert doing De Niro's voice and Ernie and Joe Pesci voice. I can imagine the scene from Casino. Yeah, that must be hilarious. You think they used Seagal's body for the RoboCop program? He become the ultimate fighting machine.
He wouldn't be fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, he'd be like he wouldn't be able to do his.
Yeah, it's true. He'd be too bulky to do it unless the only part of him that was humanoid was just like the shoulder part. The rest is all robot, and he can just do that. That'd be pretty funny looking.
That'd be pretty funny.
Russ just saw it on YouTube.
Oh, the commercial for his energy drink. God, man, it's messed up.
He's always telling some kind of like a moral story. It's like the second time or the third time in this movie where he's sitting there telling a story.
Yeah, it's like she invites him in for an espresso. You kind of think like any other guy would probably be like, okay, well, I guess we're about to get down.
Well, it's his ex-wife too, so obviously he would think that.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm just gonna tell you a story I've never told you in all the time that we were married.
That's right. He used to always say that he died of cancer, but I believe he died of a broken heart. I'm pretty sure they can determine whether or not it was cancer.
Yeah.
They're like, no, sir. Like, listen, we have the results. It's cancer. He's like, no, it's a broken heart.
Nah,
I tell you, I
nah,
swear to you, it's a broken heart.
nah, nah, man. This is a broken heart, man.
You think the cancer could have caused his heart to be broken? No, sir. That's not the way it works. He gets crazy. He's looking for Vichy. He's got to punish him, though. He's got to be the one that punishes Richie. He needs a father. He can't be running around throwing your life. There's other police officers. Why is she sitting on the floor?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Again, this leads me to there's like something was gonna happen, but then he started going off into some story, and she's like, oh, well, I guess.
Oh, well, he does give her a kiss, so he's kissing her. But she's like sitting on the floor in front of him like a little kid listening to a story from grandpa or something. You know what I mean? But, at least,
And then there's a chair right behind her.
yeah, at least this is bringing them back together because now she loves him again. And uh-oh.
Oh man, here we go.
And he had a shotgun just sitting up on top of the fridge. He's getting ambushed now. Conveniently dressed in black. That's good. So he can creep around the house and nobody see him,
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like this exact same kind of thing, I'm pretty sure happened in maybe another movie of his.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's like this. He's set up the scene probably who knows how many times in other films.
Now here's the plot twist. Okay, how about this? How about I'm at home with my family and you guys creep up on me? Good idea. That's never been done before.
Oh man.
Everybody else is running out of bullets, so. He's gonna shoot an unarmed man. He says, "Nah," and then he throws him out a window.
Oh, he slipped. They're all deceased.
Yeah, they're all deceased. Is what they say. That's a bunch of Richie's crew. They're all deceased, and they show Richie listening to it in the car. Pop quiz hot shots. Who wins a fight between Seagal versus
Sho'nuff, of course.
Sho'nuff from The Last Dragon? Sho'nuff.
I'm gonna go Sho'nuff, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I the prettiest?
It's hard to like, it's how can I say this now? It's hard to like judge Seagal's martial art techniques because all you ever see is like some idiots running at him and then him slapping the shit out of him and throwing him and twisting him upside down and throwing him in the corner. Like that's like all you ever see. You don't really ever see him fight. And then when he does fight like another martial artist, he does the same thing to them. Like it doesn't even matter if they know martial arts or not. So, at least other martial art movies and other martial art characters, you see them fight martial artists and you see martial arts going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, even if you think about it, it's like even Sho'nuff. There's even that part where he starts glowing and stuff. So technically there's some power there.
Yeah, so I'm saying you got the chi running, man.
Yeah.
So
I have to go with Sho'nuff. He is the prettiest after all.
Because of technique and everything wise, all you see is Seagal. Like he never really gets tested by like some kind of like really good martial artist or something. He's always just fighting dummies.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, even it's it's funny, like even in part 2 in Under Siege 2, where the guy is supposed to be like also like a some sort of spec ops or something,
Hmm.
you know, and he still beats the shit out of him like nothing.
Yeah, the only time anybody ever gives him any kind of trouble is when it's a main character like Tommy Lee Jones. When he fights Tommy Lee Jones, they have a good little. But even Tommy Lee Jones, he throws him all over the room.
Yeah.
So you never really see him like get tested by somebody, you know. And it's the same old thing. They run at him. He grabs him, flips him upside down. They get back up. They run at him again. And if they're able to get back up, they run at him again. And it's like the same old thing. It's just how many times can the guy run at him and he flips him upside down and throws him in the corner?
Or throws him through a wall or through a window or through a
Yeah.
door.
Steven Seagal versus Chuck Norris.
Again, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Chuck.
Yeah, me too. Because, like I said, I know Aikido. I've seen it before. I'm not an expert in it or nothing like that, but it's just like it's not like it's not like a style, like a show off kind of martial arts. You know what I mean? Obviously, because it's yeah, the stuff he does is cool because he's manhandling men, but it's not really large feats of martial arts. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like when you ever see him do like a kick, the only kick you ever see Seagal do is like a little front kick. That's it.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like he barely gets his leg up.
That's it. It's more of like a distraction so that he can hit the guy more or slap the
Mhm.
guy more.
Man, Rolodex. I haven't seen those in forever.
Yeah.
Now uh she's in a lot of like skin movies, right? Skinamax movies.
This chick here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think she's Shannon Weir. Shannon Weir.
No,
Oh, that guy's mustache is
not
clearly
familiar.
not fake.
Jesus got nothing to do with it. Hey, gentlemen, how y'all doing? Hey, there's my man Ice Lord's here. I just noticed that.
Hey, how's it going, Wes?
What's going on, Wes? Yeah, he's more of an upper body fighter. Yeah, but I mean, like what I'm saying when they show him doing his martial arts, he's always doing it against somebody who's just like running at him and
Some schlub, yeah.
not really testing his like abilities or anything like that. You know?
Like put him against Jet Li or something.
Yeah. Like you never it's like it's like he had that in his contract. Though. I don't want the guy to ever get the best of me in that way. Like you never see the guy knock him down, put a good beating on him, and he gets back up and then beats the guy up. You never see that happen to Seagal. It actually happens one time in this movie. One time the guy hits him in the leg. The guy on the ground hits him
Hmm.
in the back of the leg with a pool cue, and he falls down to his knees. But then when he gets down to his knees, he beats the shit out of like 10 guys on his knees. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like when in all these movies he gets hit once and he's like bleeding all over the place, and then it's almost like it makes him kill everybody even more after that.
And this part, there's another thing is Richie's back at his brother's bar or pool hall or whatever now, and the guy who lost his teeth and then got hit in the face with a pool ball again is still there. Wouldn't you go home
I mean, I would have.
or the hospital or something?
Yeah,
You're
well,
dead.
you're missing teeth and everything. I mean,
That's what I'm
that needs to
saying.
get taken care of, right?
I don't give a shit about Richie. I'd be gone. I'll be like, yeah, Richie. I'm the last thing Richie got to worry about. He can find me later. Is The Rock the new Steven Seagal? I mean, The Rock also has in every movie contract that he can't lose, or and no one can throw more punches than him. Wow,
Yeah,
imagine that.
sounds about right.
There's a mad shootout now. Everybody's shooting everybody. Of course, Richie's still good.
Why did he
You
leave the
do
gun there?
because he doesn't care, man. He don't care. He's going all out. He's on the drugs.
Well, I mean, you would think like it's like okay, for let's say for example he gets away with it. Well, clearly like his prints are on the gun that on the person he just killed. So it's like
Yeah, but he's not. He's not expecting to get away with it. He even says in the car to his henchman earlier, he's like, "Oh, this is going to be one night that this town is never going to forget." And so the drugs is making him go all out.
dang.
Well, she dead, man. She dead. Chuck Norris asked Bruce Lee, "Who's going to die in Way of the Dragon?" And Bruce said, "You. I'm the star." Sounds right.
But if you really think about it, in the grand scheme of things, he killed Chuck Norris in that movie, and then who died after that in real life?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why no,
So,
like Chuck Norris is unkillable.
yeah, Chuck should be happy too. Well, at least I'm still here.
Was she in there? Did she see the friend die too?
I guess so.
He's like
I was just
freaking
thinking
out.
that myself too. Like, where did she come from?
Yeah.
How you doing, Larry?
Hey, Wes. Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. How you doing? I haven't seen the Ninth Circle recently. Everything going okay?
Yeah, a couple Fridays off there. The car is like a what is it like a an IROC? What is he driving? Like an IROC Z28 or something like that?
I think so. It's Italian, right? So that's probably what it is. It's got to be that.
Get upstairs.
You know, this movie needs a lot more Mama Luke in it.
Yeah. Echo.
Echo.
Hello,
How you doing,
Echo.
sir?
Wes is doing better. Yes, everything is going well. Good, good.
Awesome, man.
We will have one on there soon.
Dang, I wonder if they lifted that line from Lethal Weapon.
What was that? Sorry.
Well, he just said right now, he's like, I'm getting too old for this shit, Gino. I wonder if they lifted that from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Cha cha. Now he's back to the house, and they're like, "Oh, that chick is like, oh man, not again." And they're all bloody and shit. Now he wants to have a party. He's grabbing her. He's like grabbing her boobs and everything right in front of everyone. We're gonna have a little party, and she's like, "Oh my god."
Oh, it's that kid that sold the mineral water.
Yeah, that's right. He's gonna drop a dime on him. He wants to get over the best broads. Ice Lord wants to know what's the theme of 80s week. I guess
I don't
that's
know.
Echo will have to tell him that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I think it's non-horror. I think they're just doing 80s movies that are not horror movies or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
As far as I know, it is. How many different places that Gino goes in this movie? I have to count that one day.
I know, right? It seems like this whole movie is just like going everywhere.
And not only that is like, have you seen Richie? Like, how many times does he say that in this movie?
That
I'm
could be
pretty
a
sure.
drinking game.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot. Echo
I'm sure
says
there's a
7.
drinking. I'm sure there's a drinking game of that somewhere online.
7 non-horror movies from the 80s. and they all have to be romantic comedies. Only if your name is Lay. Who y'all think had the biggest fall from grace, Seagal or Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan.
Gotcha. Now he's saying that Bobby's wife sent Richie the picture of him with his chick, or whatever it was. Is his chick or sister or something? Whoever it is, he killed her too. The movies can have hints of horror, since one of the movies I reviews does have hints of horror. There we go. The Bulkster. Seagal stayed away from large crowds, something Hogan, his ego can't do. She wants her Bobby back, but you know what?
That's
Ain't
her
no
fault,
coming
right?
back. Ain't no coming back from that. He passed me through right now, so now he's talking to the kid on the phone through his walkie-talkie.
Get out of the neighborhood.
Get out of the neighborhood now.
Yeah, because it's like the whole neighborhood's gonna like blow up, right? Or no, not blow up, but like just come. He's gonna like flip people
Yeah,
over and break arms.
destroy it all. He's just
Yeah.
going to knock it all down. He's going to paint the town red. Echo said, and I did review a romantic movie. It has guns, bad guys, things blowing up, and people dying. Also, some guy can save the woman he loves. Now that's romantic. Yeah, that sounds romantic to me.
Is it a Dark Angel?
You mean Dark Angel?
I Come in Peace.
I Come in Peace, Dark Angel, or
Oh man.
they're partying now. Now they're on the toot. You got some music going on. They're drinking beers, playing poker. All typical bad stuff,
Yeah, but there's no coming back from that.
No.
We've established that from the get-go of this movie.
Yeah.
There's no reforming these guys. Oh, what's a guy that has no teeth?
And that's the thing too. Yeah, there was that guy too. He's still partying. That guy. He's got his teeth busted out, and he got hit in like the jaw
There's
with a
Kane Hodder.
with a pool cue. Yeah, that's it. The girl who falls on him. That's Kane Hodder right there. Yeah, with the mullet.
Yeah, the guy with missing teeth. He's still like drinking, smoking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that guy's, he's determined. That's what I'm saying. Like I was going to say that like these guys, like especially his partners, his buddies there. Like, what do they think is going to happen in this night? Like, do they think that they're just going to get like the cops are going to be like, oh, well, just come in, we'll ask you a few questions or something like that? Like, they're obviously going to jail for a long time, or they're going to get shot. They're dead.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because it's like they're all afraid of Richie, but they're still kind of going along with it, And it's just like, well, what's worse, me going to jail or getting killed by Richie?
That's it. But I mean, like sometimes, like he lets them go or they're on their own, and they can very easily just take off and go somewhere else. Like you know that guy does not have a future. So why are you worrying about him coming back for you later?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if I was one of those guys, and I would just like, as soon as he wasn't looking, I'd be gone. Because this is what's happening now. You got Gino snooping around with a big ass shotgun.
Oh,
Here's another. Actually, here's another spot. He got shot here in this spot in this scene. Kane Hodder got shot right there. Boom.
down goes Jason.
I wonder why they didn't say that because they showed this that Kane Hodder just got shot. And they, I guess, because it was too fast of a scene, so you can see him easier when the girl falls on him.
Mm-hmm. This is weird to see like all these like going back and watching these movies and seeing all the people that are in it. Like I think you and the cat were talking about it last night. Oh,
Oh man, that's pretty cool. Shoots his leg right off.
he'll never dance again.
No, what were you saying?
No, what you and the cat were talking about last night with who was it? Was it last night? Terry Funk.
Yeah,
It's like now going back and watching like Roadhouse and all these other movies that like over the top, like Terry Funk's in those, and it's just like thinking about it now from back then.
yeah.
Oh man, this guy's gonna. Yeah,
This
look,
guy,
he
yeah.
just kicked him, so he killed him just with that kick.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, okay, yeah, obviously he's banged up, but he smashed that guy good twice, and he just kicks him in the belly, and now he's out. And Richie's sitting on the toilet waiting for him. He's sitting on the toilet waiting for him. He's out of bullets.
Oh man, so let's see. What's the time? What's the timestamp here?
He says, yeah, check out the timestamp. He says, he threw the bullets away and he goes, that's a shame because these bullets were going to save you a lot of pain. And what happens? What happens right away? Richie runs at him and he throws him upside down in the corner. What was the timestamp, Larry? Sorry?
It was at 1:23. Now we're in 23 minutes in. Yeah, and he's just throwing him. He's messing up this poor lady's house.
Poor lady's apartment. Oh, that was pretty cool the way he did those fast couple punches. But he throws like the smallest little thin little shelves at the guy. Like, why ruin her house for that? You know, the shelves ain't going to do shit to him.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon 2 is also romantic. I mean, Rig goes out on revenge to kill people who killed his wife for some random woman he had a booty call with. Yeah, that's true. Another pop quiz hot shots. America is sending their all-star dream team of action heroes to fight in a fighting tournament. Which 5 people is America sending?
So
real people?
Are we talking about action heroes? So obviously Van Damme's not in it because he's not American. So I would imagine it's going to be again Arnie, Sly, Chuck Norris, I guess Seagal.
Van Damme.
Well, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's not technically American, right? So
yeah, but he is now. Like he's like part of our.
In this one, he's American.
Well, I mean, he plays a couple of movies. In a couple of movies, he plays Canadian. So. Oh. Well, and what is it? Hard Target. He plays. Is it Hard Target? Or he plays Cajun.
Yeah, he plays Cajun.
So.
Ooh.
Hey, he played American in Street Fighter. There you go. He played like the American too. So.
Oh well, I said Arnie. We can't do Arnie because he's not American. Technically, he was not American either.
There you go. But he was a governor, so.
John Matrix.
Yeah, so poor Richie took a beating, and now he's walking around with that puppy that's been sitting in the car for all that time.
Who only got fed once.
You eat over here, you're gonna have gangrene by noon. He says,
Oh, here we go.
and that guy who dropped the dog off just happens to be there. Calls him fuck nuts. Say fuck nuts. You talking to me?
Oh man, here we go. I like how this guy's like talking tough to a guy like in a green beret hat.
Yeah. The guy threatens to throw him out of the car in a bag. Then he takes a shot at him, spins him around, and kicks him in the nuts. My balls.
Oh, the dog.
And then the puppy wanders over, takes a pee on him. Yeah.
Good doggy.
Hey, little Vic, look over here. Is that a police dog or what? And that's it. The credits roll, and they show when Seagal runs through the streets again.
Right. They're basically gonna give you the whole movie, like the crib notes version.
Yeah, in a recap. The way he runs with his gun, like way up above his head, is hilarious. Van Damme was so American. He had the old red skin color and blue tattoo on his caked out bicep. That's right. It's true. Did you know there was Charles Bronson look like a look-alike actor, Charles Bronson? Okay.
Yeah. What's his name? It's Charlie. Oh my god, man.
Thanks, Russ.
Can't remember his name. Oh, thanks, Russ.
Charles Bronson, eh? Charlie
Yeah.
B.
Let's see if I can look up his name real quick.
And they show this part at the end once the credits start rolling. You see his face, how he's walking. And it pauses. Is yours paused on his face as the credits go up?
Yeah. He's like,
He's looking to the side. And that's it. That's the end of that. Out for justice. And he got his justice. Finally found Richie after, an hour and 23 minutes, apparently?
yeah. Took him
Got
an
his
hour.
justice. All right. Let's go see what we got going on here. Anybody?
The guy's name is Robert Bronzy.
Yeah. That's what Russell
there it
did.
is, yeah.
He's going to make a movie where he fights werewolves. Okay.
You see him, man. He looks almost splitting image, man.
Professor is American, Central American, so he could be on the All-Star Dream Team. I choose Professor. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Classic.
Yeah. I find the music, like the music they use for this movie, does not match the movie.
No.
You know, they had a Beastie Boys song in there, and then they had some kind of other weird like 90s kind of hip hop dance song that sounded like it might have been from like a Ninja Turtles movie or something. And then they got other music that sounds kind of like Roadhouse music, like from the movie Roadhouse, like this song that's playing right now.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like a song that could be in Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, for sure. In any one of the scenes where he's like kicking the crap out of people in the actual bar.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that was good.
Oh well. The song "Don't Stand in My Way," written by Steven Seagal.
Oh, is it?
"Bad Side of Town," written by Steven Seagal.
Oh yeah. Man, when I looked it up, and he's written so many songs. That guy, you know that?
"The Mojo Priest."
Yes, Canada's in North America.
So Bret Hart, we'll send him.
Yeah. They don't let the Professor in tournaments anymore. Mostly because I cheat like a mofo.
Nice.
Well,
I follow the school of thought of Eddie Guerrero. Nice.
Here's it. Professors don't admit to it. There's one thing. Just don't admit to it.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
That's right. Like House of Pain said, it's not a crime if you don't get caught. You know. So don't give up. Don't give yourself up. And even if you get caught, still deny, 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 deny.
Just follow what Richie does in this movie.
That's it. Smoke some crack and kill everybody, and eventually get killed. And in
Nice.
some part of the multiverse, Seagal played Dalton in Roadhouse. That would, something. I obviously Swayze's a way better pick, but I would watch it just for fun. I wish that you can like. There's some kind of option where you could switch the actor in the movie and put another actor in, because I'd like to
Mhm.
watch that with Seagal as to see how it turned out.
The only thing is like he's gonna be with what's her name?
Later, Russell. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Let Russell, my man, take it easy. He's gonna be with what's her name? The girl with the big hair, Laura Dern. Yeah, Laura Dern. Laura
Mhm.
Dern. Is that who it is?
I think so.
I don't know if I want to see that. It's kind of. And the other thing too is like, would he, given his ego, would he like really take, you know, feedback from Sam Elliott?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's an interesting role for Seagal because like he doesn't really have buddy partners, and it's
Yeah,
all about him. So
except for like DMX and what's that movie?
oh yeah, like what's that? Which one? The Black Diamond one, or or the Cradle to the Grave one, or
Yeah, I think it's either Cradle of the Grave or whatever other one. I mean,
wasn't there
they
like
kind
a
of all
Black
run together.
Rain one, or Black Diamond or something? I can't remember what it was called. I kind of checked out by then. I stopped. Like that's enough for me. Oh boy. So what do you got for plan for the rest of the evening?
Uh, Basically just pretty much just chill at this point. I need to see what's going on with this cat because she keeps freaking out. She's like she's like scrubbing on everything, and I'm like, she's probably hungry. And she
It's
closed the
funny.
door so she can't get out.
It's funny because when I'm streaming with Cap too, is the same thing. Yeah, but by the end, he's like his cats are driving him crazy, and I'm like, yeah, my cat too. I can hear him at the door. It's like did they all call each other and decide to get at each other, or what?
Well, it's snack time. That's probably why.
My cat, man, my cat is like he does not stop. Ever since especially since my dog, I don't have my dog anymore, so he's like it's just him now.
Hmm.
Holy smokes, man, he bugs the shit out of me. It's crazy.
Yeah, my cat. As long as I'm home, he has to be everywhere. That's why I left the door a little bit open so she can come in and not
Right.
just be like banging on the door. Because
Yeah.
literally, if like that door that's there, she'll scrape on it, but you'll see it like because she's that forceful, and she's the one that closed the door.
Oh,
Like she
so
like pushed on it and closed it. So she
professor
got.
is saying that the cat is clearly disturbed by the horror of Steven Seagal.
We'll see. Look, She's calmed down now. Like
She's all right now. The movie's over.
yeah, she's like just chilling right there.
Yeah. All right, so we'll wrap it up, man. So you can go and check out your cat, and I can see if the paint is still on the outside of the door in here because of the cat scratching over here. Thanks for
What do you
joining
got
me,
coming
man,
up,
and
man?
watching that movie. Had a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks again. Thanks for having me on. Like I said, I hadn't seen this film in forever, so it's like for me, it's like just going back,
Yeah,
just taking me back, and then seeing all the stuff. I'm just like, Jesus, man, it's great. It's ridiculous, but it's like great.
yeah. I agree. I enjoyed watching it again. I hadn't seen it for a while too, and up till recently, I watched it just to get prepared. So I had it in my mind, like for when we watched it again just now.
Hmm.
I watched it the other night, and I watched it kind of like once and a half. So I watched it fully once, and then I watched it again a second time, like the next day. But I just had it kind of playing in the background as I was doing other things.
Hmm.
Kind of
Was
do
gonna
that to keep it in my mind.
was gonna say, what's the like? What do you have coming up next? I know you and the Cap are going to be maybe next Friday.
Yeah, no, he said he was down for next Friday, so we'll be streaming again Friday. Saturday, I'm on a live stream with Gareth. We're watching Police Academy 3.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll be on video tasties on Saturday, and so far that's all I got so far until the next Friday.
What's your favorite Police Academy?
um, hmm. Oh man, I love. It's hard to say. I would say a two. I'll probably pick two. I don't know. I'm just watching three. I like three too. I like four. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say two.
Two.
Yeah.
I will say two is kind of like, at least for me, in my opinion, if I feel like two is a little bit more, like it's a little more serious. You know, like
Yeah.
when you first meet Zed and everything, and it almost seems like kind of, like wow, they could actually something could happen to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like the fact that it's a little bit more serious in tone, to where it's like, man, Gutenberg could actually bite the dust in this one.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
my
There's some tense shit going on. I like that.
I gotta say though, like, once he was like after four, it was just kind of like it wasn't the same anymore.
No, no. You can see it going. You know how it's going to go. It's going one way for sure.
Hmm.
My favorite Police Academy is all the ones where the blonde chick with the massive boobs pops up.
I always found it interesting, like, because I think what the first one is rated R, right? The first one is rated R, and she, like, with all the stuff that she does in that, Leslie Easterbrook,
Mm-hmm.
with all the stuff she does in that film, like she never like shows anything. But
Nope.
then, like, if you saw that other movie, was it the one with Johnny Depp? It's man, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But she's topless in that.
With Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it's an '80s movie with Johnny Depp where like it's him and his buddy, and I think they go to California or something like that. I
Holy
can't
shit! I don't think I've seen that.
for the life of me, I can't remember the name of that movie. And
Hmm.
it's gonna bother me now. And it always like it always stuck out to me because of that. I was like, hey, she's in this movie, and then all of a sudden like, hey, she's topless. I'm like, oh, all right, interesting.
Yeah, I guess they want to keep a certain level of rating and everything, but
Private Resort
Private Resort. That sounds familiar.
from
Oh yes, I remember that. He's like a what do you call it? Like a what do you call it? A kid that works on a resort, like a not a
yeah, it's
bellhop, but
like a pool boy or a cabana
yeah,
boy.
like a pool boy kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. I remember that movie.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true. Yes, she is in that. Now I'm starting
true.
to remember. Yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, Hector Elizondo in that too. I totally forgot he was in that.
I haven't seen that in a while. I'm gonna have to check that out and see if I can. I don't know if I have that. If not, I'm gonna have to acquire it.
85.
Yeah, 85, man. That's my year. I love that shit. So,
I was gonna ask, like, because it according to Google, it's on Tubi right now.
oh really?
Yeah,
Huh.
so
I
you
have
can
to
watch it on Tubi for free right now. But I don't know how it is because I know, like, I think like the UK, you can't get Tubi or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I got Tubi, but a lot of times it's different than what people say. They have it on Tubi. I see they're doing a watch party, and I go and check on my Tubi, and it's not there. So
Hmm.
I haven't. I go on Tubi all the time, so I have a feeling it's not on my Tubi because I probably would have seen it pop up already.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean it's not there. I could do. I'm gonna have to do a double check, but we'll see. Larry must know the name of that movie.
Well, there you go. It's Private Resort, Professor.
Oh, Larry, I must know the name of that movie. There you go. All right. So yeah. Well, Maybe we'll do this again sometime soon, and if you want to, we can check out another flick, and
Yeah,
who knows, we'll
yeah,
see
for
how we
sure.
go.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely. This is a lot of fun. I mean, it's good going back and watching these films. I mean, man,
Yeah, I like hanging out and watching a movie and shooting the shit about it and everything. It's fun, you know.
yeah, man.
Yeah, Professor says his Mexican Tubi is also different from American version. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the stream, and we'll catch you next time, Tapeoids. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.
Take it easy.
I can't believe I just said peace.